Hey guys, welcome back to the side channel, and today's topic will be on the solar system. Right, well done if you guessed it right, but today's topic will be on the solar system, the place where you and I live, because our planet, Earth, is in the solar system. The solar system is a gravitationally bound group of planets and other celestial or terrestrial bodies orbiting the sun, which basically means the solar system are a bunch of planets that are held together by gravity and circle the sun. And if you don't know what gravity is, it's basically the stuff that keeps everything anchored into one position and keeps us on the ground. There's no gravity in space and such, which means you can float, as seen on many space movies. Einstein developed a theory which says that gravity acts like a large blanket in space. The planets are sitting on it, making a dimple. If you roll the marble, it will go towards the one that has made the biggest dimple, and so on. So where is the solar system located in our universe? Well, luckily enough for you, I have the answer to that question. The solar system is part of the Milky Way. The Sun is on a finger of the Milky Way called the Orion Spur, which is the smaller arm of the Milky Way. The Milky Way is on the outskirts of the Virgo cluster, which is a massive group of over 1,000 galaxies, and the Virgo cluster is part of the Virgo supercluster, which contains over 100 other galaxies. And this is all part of the ever-expanding universe, full of wonders and unknowns. So good luck finding Earth and all that. The universe is so massive, I 100% guarantee you will not find the Earth in this picture. But all the content I've just talked about will be covered in a future episode. So if you want to know more about that, don't worry, I will cover it soon. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that Earth and the solar system are minuscule in the universe terms. So if somebody comes and says to you something like, where on Earth is it? You should probably come back at them and say something like, no. Where on the Virgo supercluster is it? Or something like, no. Where in the universe is it? Because that would be more appropriate. But the cool thing is, Earth is the only life-sustaining planet that has been discovered so far. Out of all the planets in the universe, Earth is the only one. But enough about all this, guys. I'm about to move on to the thing that makes the solar system so unique. The planets. The solar system is home to 8 different planets, Pluto not included, but we'll go into him later. The 8 planets in order are Mercury, with its eerie similarity to the Moon. Venus, also known as the Hell Planet for its harsh environment. Earth, our home, the terrestrial planet. Mars, also a terrestrial planet, also known as the Red Planet. Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system. And Saturn, the one you recognize by its rings. The next two are Uranus and Neptune, the ice giants, but nobody really knows much about them. We'll also have an episode dedicated to both of them. My favorite out of the 8 planets is Venus, for its harsh environment and really cool features. All of these planets fall into 3 main categories. We have terrestrial, which is Earth, Venus, Mercury, and Mars. Then we have our gas giants category, which is Jupiter and Saturn. But people may consider Neptune and Uranus as gas giants, but they do fall into their own category because of their relative distance to the Sun. They fall into the category of ice giants because of their very low temperatures because of their distance from the Sun. But planets aren't the only thing in our solar system. There are other objects in our solar system that I haven't mentioned yet. Countless asteroids, moons, many different comets, and heaps of dwarf planets also share our solar system. But perhaps one of the most amazing and unique features of the solar system is called the Oort cloud. The Oort cloud is a cloud of hypothetical rings of billions of ice fragments surrounding the solar system. They exist in the outermost reaches of the solar system, and it is named after astronomer Jan Oort, who first theorized its existence. The Oort cloud is roughly spherical and covers a vast amount of space around the solar system. But, Sai, you might ask, how big is the solar system, and how can we know where its borders reach? Well, astronomers don't really know how big the solar system is, but they can use one of 2 main factors to determine how big the solar system is. The first of the 2 is how far the solar winds reach. The solar winds are quite interesting in themselves. The solar wind is not actual wind because there's no oxygen in space. The only gases to exist in space are radon, helium, neon, krypton, xenon, and the first molecules to be discovered in space, argon. The solar wind in a nutshell is charged particles continuously being emanated from the Sun. Because the Sun is constantly fusing gases, it emits a sort of aura which stretches out and reaches the ends of the solar system. The solar winds have been corroding properties of planets without magnetic fields. Earth is lucky because we have a strong magnetic field, but planets like Mars haven't been spared. Their surfaces had been corroded over years and years. So the second factor to find out how big the solar system really is we put in the sun's gravity into the equation. We see how far the gravity stretches and how far it influences, and once we get that number, we can pop it into our calculators and type it up, blah blah blah, and we get a number roughly about this, which is 2 light years, which is a phenomenal amount. But that massive number, just the size of the solar system, is just 2 light years. Please, guys, it takes billions of light years just to travel to the nearest galaxy. That is a massive amount of travel, and I don't think any of us have the time for that. So, guys, before I wrap up, I want to do a quick what we learned. The first thing we learned is where the solar system is positioned. It is positioned in the Orion Spur, which is part of the Milky Way, which is part of the Virgo cluster, which is part of the Virgo supercluster, part of the universe, which is massive and ever expanding. The next thing we learned is what is in our solar system. We learned that there are 8 planets in our solar system, not including Pluto. There are asteroids, gases, comets, and of course the sun, the most important sun. And we learned about solar flares and all interesting things. The next thing we learned was how big it is. The solar system is roughly 2 light years across, and we learned that right at the end. And the last thing is, how cool is it? The solar system is amazing. It is the place that we live in, and I think we are quite lucky to be living in this amazing place that is so cool. So guys, the last thing I wanted to say was just thanks. This is my first video, and I would really enjoy a lot of support if you could share this with your friends and subscribe to my channel. And I also wanted to say this is my first video, so the quality will get better as I go. I'm still learning how to research things, how to make my videos better and more interesting. If you have any suggestions, just drop it in the comment, and thank you for that, guys. Thank you very much. Alright guys, I really hope you learned something from the video, because that is the main goal why I would make this video, to share my knowledge with you, the YouTube community. Share this with your friends, tell them your knowledge, tell them what you learned, tell your parents what you learned, and yeah, they might think you're a little bit annoying, but we're all science nerds inside, and they might actually want to hear it. So thanks guys, and see you later.